How to Receive Messages from Your Spirit Guides Fast by EllaRingrose. I'm gonna like her video real quick. Hold up. Like my video too, you feel me? But I talk to people's spirit guides for them, and people have told me that I've given some very accurate messages. So I feel like I'd be a good person to review other people's videos about talking to spirit guides, since I talk to other people's spirit guides and my own spirit guides. Even though I ain't gonna cap, I talk to my own spirit more than I talk to my spirit guides nowadays, but that's a whole different topic for a whole different video. Let's get into this video.
Welcome to one of my
By the Syrian, Palladian, and Andromedan woman. You feel me?
favorite topics, which is how to connect, how to hear, how to talk to your spirit guides, what are spirit guides. So
Yeah,
yes,
let's
if you
hear
are
it.
new to my channel, my name is EllaRingrose, and I have been a psychic for many, many years. And truthfully and transparently from my heart, I have honestly known spirit better than sometimes this physical reality. Like I, for many years, was
I felt
connected more
that.
to the other side than I
I
was to
felt
this
that,
physical
bro.
side. So
Felt that shit, bro. That shit sound lit, but it really isn't, because you have shit to do on Earth. You feel me? Hey, you have shit to do on Earth, no cap, bro. And if you get too lost in your spirit, my nigga, you feel me? It kind of becomes weird, especially because it's kind of like getting lost in your spirit is kind of weird, because it's kind of weird because you can't really get lost in your spirit. Like your spirit will always direct you back to Earth. You feel me? If you're getting too caught up in the spiritual planes, you could do that while being somewhat disconnected from your spirit, because your spirit would tell you to actually focus on more physical things. But that's a whole different topic for a whole different video, bro. No cap.
So I have a very large array of information of that world. And if you are unaware of what spirit guides are, I want to explain how you can use them in an empowering way, because I see so many people using it in a way that's deeply disempowering. And
Dang, I
I
see
used
that.
it this.
Okay, so far she's getting me hyped for what she has to say, because there's a lot of people who depend on their spirit guides and can only make a decision if they know what the fuck their guides think. But nigga, what the fuck do you think? My guides did that to me at one point. That's why I talk to my spirit more than I talk to my own guides. Because there was one point where my guides, nigga, I was trying to make a fucking decision, and I had guides that supported both decisions. I'm like, nigga, what the fuck? And it was ultimately about what the fuck do you want to do? Fuck what we want, nigga. What the fuck do you want? You feel me?
Way, and I see so many people using it that way, and it breaks my heart because it takes away all our power. It externalizes our power to a different force that is not within ourselves. So in order for me to explain, we're going to get into what spirit guides are. And if you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, click subscribe, and comment down
I already
below where
liked
you're
it,
from. I
lady.
love seeing the
I
countries
already
you guys are
liked
in.
it. You feel me?
So to put it
I
simply,
got you.
the number one rule I think is really important to understand is your spirit guides are an extension of you. And I'm going to repeat that. Your spirit guides are not like these higher beings. I mean, technically they are,
I'm
but
about
they're
to
not
say
these
like what you
higher
mean.
beings.
But so what you mean by that? Because I get what you mean, but also like,
It's just like hovering above you. They're listening to you. I see them as an extension of our heart. Okay, so
I mean, that's nice, because some spirit guides are literal extensions of our own spirit. But some spirit guides have completely separate spirits to ours. But I will give her this for a fact that a lot of our spirit guides, especially like the ones that will stick with you throughout your whole entire journey, those are usually aspects of your own spirit. You feel me? Like they're still separate souls, because you're like right now you're living this lifetime through the fact that you have a soul. Your soul is what actually focuses your spirit inside of this lifetime. You feel me? But technically, you in a different lifetime has a quote unquote different soul, because you have a different observational point of awareness that is focusing a part of your spirit into that lifetime. Your spirit is infinite and eternal. It can exist inside of an infinite amount of lifetimes and stuff like that. You feel me? So it needs to make a soul to focus inside of one individual lifetime. Now with your spirit guides, right? Some of your spirit guides, they come from the same energy that this soul in this lifetime comes from. It comes from your spirit, but they're still kind of like separate souls. It's like they're separate souls that are linked to the same spirit. You feel me? You have a soul, your spirit guides have a soul, and that soul that your spirit guides have and your soul is linked to the same spirit. You feel me? So some spirit guides are extensions of your own spirit. However, there are spirit guides that have their own individual spirit that is not the same as yours. And these may be like friends from past life. You feel me? And these friends from past lives are coming to help you inside this life right now. So I kind of like what she said. I feel her on that. You feel me? But that's not 100% true. You feel me? Because they're not all extensions of our heart. You feel me? But I feel it. I feel it, bro. I'm not mad at her saying that though. You feel me? And I think she's going. You feel me? From what she said at first, like in the beginning of the video, bro, I think she got some good wisdom to share and shit like that. So don't let what I just said knock your opinion of her as this video goes on. Unless she does say some bullshit like, and you know, the demons are spirit guides too. Like, okay, fuck out of here. We're not fucking with no demons. But yeah, you feel me?
So
Like,
the reason,
yeah.
firstly, I think spirit guides are so deeply important is because if you struggle with giving yourself permission, okay, keyword permission, if you struggle with giving yourself permission to do the things that feel good to you, if you have a hard time giving yourself love, if you have a hard time.
Bro, this girl Syrian, her Syrian Andromeda and Pleiadian energy is so fucking strong. I wonder if she knows that she's a star seed because, bro, her shit is beaming the fuck out of me right now, bro. That Syrian Pleiadian Andromeda is beaming my shit, bro.
Giving yourself permission to shine big, to, make more money, or to really chase a relationship that like you feel so cherished and loved, or to claim what you want. If you struggle with firstly believing you're worthy, secondly giving yourself permission, because that is a huge one I've noticed for a lot of people, is we need to have an external force to give us permission. Okay, we need to ask the teacher to go to the bathroom. We need to ask our parents for permission to go out, and then we go into this world and we have to ask.
Yeah, we are products of how we were raised and also religion, because religion would teach you that shit too. Ask the hired man in the sky what to do and not just trust yourself. You feel me?
Our workplace for days off. Like we're continually guided to ask outside of ourselves. And so
Yeah.
that was my relationship to spirit guides for many years. I saw it
Yeah.
as kind of like a parental guide that was higher than me. And I would ask it like, can I do this? Can I do that? And it felt like this powerless dynamic.
Yeah.
And what I
That
started
is
to do
most
was I
people.
took a spirit guide detox. I took a while of not connecting to my spirit guides because if you're unaware, I hear spirit guides as clear as I hear a human, if not more. And that's what has enabled me to be an incredible psychic, and it's been my full-time career for
That's what's up.
years. But it's also been hard because that dynamic that I'm sharing, that energetic pull and push, is not what is going to empower us. And so my guides told me to take a step away because I was using it in a wrong force. And this is the new kind of dynamic they've shown me. So the thing with the word spirit guide, I believe we come into this physical incarnation, this physical, beautiful experience with higher forces, guides that will guide us. Okay?
Yes, they're
But what I
guides.
see them as now
Yes.
is they are me. Okay, and this is the difference.
They're guides though, and I'm saying it because guides guide you. They don't tell you what to do. They guide you. You feel me? But like I said already, you feel me? A lot of spirit guides which stick with you for your whole entire journey. Yes, they are technically aspects of your own spirit. You feel me? But there are spirit guides that can be separate from your spirit. You feel me? And these guides tend to like they'll pop in at some points. Then when you're on some new shit, they'll pop out. You feel me? They won't be there. But the ones that tend to stick around, those usually are the ones that are aspects of yourself. So I will say that, you feel me? But it's not like that for all guides. But it's still an important basis to know that because they're not even outside yourself. You feel me? Like a lot of your like main guides, like your true main guides, it really is just higher parts of yourself. You feel me? So they are really parts of you and shit. And yeah, there's not no outside force, no shit like that. So yeah.
Before, I would see spirit guides as these like ascended masters, these higher beings, these higher angelic
Well, those are true too, though. Those there are that is a thing though. I do want like let's not forget that that is true. You feel me? But this is like both of these are true. Both are true. You feel me?
forces that knew better than me, and that I was essentially needing permission from this higher force. What I see it now is they are you. They are you. Okay? Your spirit, your soul, like your force, your life force, your love in your heart, your guides are just a projection of that frequency. They are projecting out from your heart. Okay? And that is what I encourage you guys to do when you're first connecting. There's two things I encourage is to give them a name. Okay, so I don't call my spirit guides anymore. I call them my love team. And that's what they asked me to start calling them. Because when I tune in and I go, my love team, immediately I'm like, oh, they're a team of love.
Oh, and I will say this too. Connecting, having an open heart really does make connection with your guides easier. Like being in that love energy and having an open heart, yeah, messages come in way cleaner. I will definitely say that for a fact. One time I was being trained to talk to guides, and they had me actually do a meditation where like I was seeing like this crystal being like lit up by like this like elect by this like electric wire, and as I would do that, it's like it would activate like my higher heart chakra. You feel me? Around like I think it's like my thymus, like around my thymus area, that was getting activated highly. Once that happened, I could channel like crazy shit. You feel me? So your heart is very important. Now giving them a name, I don't think that's essential. You feel me? Like I'm talking to Alexander right now. I don't think that's really essential. You feel me? But hey, you know, to each its own.
That are surrounding me, supporting me, because this whole existence, in my perspective, how I see uh, this life and how I see spirituality is
I
everything
think
is an embodiment of
I think a name definitely can help. You feel me? I don't think it's an essential, but it definitely can help. But it's like I don't know. I almost I'm like us because some like sense you do have spirit guides that are their own separate being. Like some of them do have their own name, and I would hate to give that nigga a name that's not his actual name. But also beyond that, yeah, niggas have names, but your name changes in different. Like right now, you feel me? I'm calling myself Genie on YouTube. You feel me? But in a different lifetime, I could be a whole different name. You feel me? So it's like, yeah. So with this name shit, I would say like I'm unbiased. If you want to do this, you can. If you don't want to do this, you also don't have to do it. That's how I see it. You feel me?
love. Everything surrounding us is love. So I started calling them the love team, and I encourage you to give them a name. One, because a lot of people have
So she just meant it like that.
Catholicism
Okay, word.
trauma, and
My fault. She just meant it like that. Like you don't gotta call them a spirit guide. You call them the love team. You don't gotta name every single guide though. I don't think she's saying to name the guide. Okay, word.
like different types of traumas, on this understanding that there's this angry man in the sky, or that there's this force that's going to punish you,
Yeah.
that creates paralysis in our body and
Yeah.
disconnects us from that loving frequency that is the source of who we are, that is the richness of this life. So a lot of people may see spirit guides as something looking down and shunning you. I know, you know that like people always say, like when someone passed over, like your grandmother passed over and you're just in bed, like, is my grandmother watching me right now? I know that was like a reality for a lot of my friends. Like when people passed over, we're like, are they watching me? And it's like this feeling of like, you're doing it wrong. Like,
Well, some of them do watch over you. Now they're not saying you're doing wrong. I mean, but niggas do watch over you though. Like niggas definitely do have ancestors. You feel me? Let's not act like that's not a thing. You feel me? Like you do have like when certain people pass over. Like I granted, some niggas pass over and don't watch over their family. You feel me? But some niggas do. Like I had uh several people pass in my life. You feel me? I had my grandparents pass. I had my dad pass. I fuck with them in the astral plane. As nigga who could leave their body and shit, I fuck with them niggas, bro. You feel me? So it's like I get what you're trying to say. Like it's not like these beings that's saying you're doing wrong and nah. But we do have ancestors that do watch over us. You feel me? And some of them niggas actually like the like some, especially like the warrior ones. You feel me? Like the more like aggressive ones. You feel me? Them niggas kind of sometimes do be like, nigga, you doing that shit wrong. Now you don't gotta listen to them, Cause sometimes they're stuck in their own perception, you feel me? But them niggas will them some niggas actually are like that. There actually are guiding forces which are our ancestors, which do kind of come like that, who be like, nigga, you doing that shit all wrong. This is not how we used to do shit, nigga. Fuck you mean? You don't gotta listen, and they're not 100% right. You feel me? But that is a thing, though. I just want to say that. You feel me? But I get what she's trying to say. She's trying to get niggas out the mindset of depending on your spirit guides as if they're like some higher authority rather than just being spiritual guides. Especially because some of them are just aspects of your spirit. So I get what she's trying to say, but I just have to add the extra shit. Like, you feel me? So yeah, I'll just let her talk though.
Like you're bold, like be better, like this judgment, this oppression. When actually spirit guides for me are just an extension of love that are lovingly, warmly embracing me and encouraging me all the time. And that is what I encourage you to do too. So it's to give.
And even when hold on, even when ancestors get on you, they'll still do it out of love. You feel me? Like they're just like nigga, if you have warrior ancestors and shit like that, they're gonna naturally be a bit more aggressive. Like these might be ancestors who haven't even hit 5D awareness yet. You feel me? They're still like in 4D awareness. You feel me? I'm not saying that you have to talk to them. Cause there's ancestors who don't want the best for you. You feel me? Who are watching you and want to actually steer you down the wrong path. You feel me? So I'm not saying that you have to talk to these people. You feel me? And also, there's ancestors that aren't like that. Some are very loving and stuff like that and don't want to be on that warrior shit. You feel me? But I do want to say that there are warrior ancestors who might get on you a bit, but they're doing it out of love and the way that they experience it because they're not on that, yeah. Them niggas been fighting all their life. You feel me? So they want you to be able to fight also. So they're a bit more aggressive, but they still love you type shit. You feel me? I just want to say that real quick. You feel me?
Give them a name of your team. And the second one is to understand they are you. Okay, this is not you externalizing your power to like a secondary force that's telling you what to do. It is an extension of your heart. It is an extension of what you choose to tune in within yourself that gives you that guidance of the guides because they're inside of you. They're not outside of you. Okay, so how we can start connecting to guides, I've got toilet paper here, so we can basically show is
Yo, for my teaching videos, would y'all want me to get a whiteboard and shit like that? I don't think I need to, but if y'all niggas want that, maybe.
no, there's many different like psychic abilities. There's, claircognizance, clairvoyance, clairsentience,
Yeah.
all these different types of ways.
For me, I'm very claircognizant, where I just kind of just instantly know things, and I'm very clairsentient, where like I feel things, and I'm becoming more and more clairvoyant, and I also got clairaudience too. Like I be hearing shit. You feel me?
So
But my claircognizance is the strongest one. Being able to just instantly know shit is my strongest one.
how I see spirit guides is I physically see them with my third eye, and I hear them as clear as I hear humans.
Hey, you could physically hold her. She on that level where she can actually see spirits like in the physical. I've only ever seen one spirit with my physical eyes. I had this being that I call it Drexel. It's like this time traveling robot being. That shit popped up in my room. It was on its knees like these, damn near pledging it. Like it had its swords like this, and it was on his knees with his head bowed down at me. That shit literally popped in my room. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? And it just dipped the fuck out. I'm like, yo, no way. I really just saw that shit with my own two eyes, bro. What the fuck? Cause I could see spirit guides in my mental vision, but like physically, I don't see them niggas like that. You feel me?
So they speak to me all the time. But for a lot of people, that's not a reality. And I was just doing a talk in Dublin, in Ireland.
Yo, when her accent pop out, that should be funny. I was just doing a talk. Like her accent, yeah, I fuck with that. I fuck with her accent. That should be popping out.
Full audience on spirit guides, and a lot of people are expressing how they can't hear them. And just a side note, I do want to express because I'd say over 100 out of all my readings, I'd say 100 of them, their guides say they're never going to hear us because the gift is that they chose to be the guider. They chose to be the one in control, technically. So what I am really understanding from studying spirit guides for years is it's all in feeling. Okay?
Well, I wouldn't
all in feeling.
I wouldn't say that. For a lot of people it is though. You feel me? But it's not always, cuz I know niggas nigga, fuck that with me. When I was talking to my guys, I didn't always feel it. I would just intuitively know certain shit, which actually was kind of something I had to overcome because due to the fact that I couldn't feel certain shit, I wouldn't always trust what I'm getting. You feel me? But just because you feel something doesn't mean that it's true either. Because I've definitely felt certain shit where I've acted off of a feeling and it led me down the wrong path. And I've had to learn to discern different feelings and what those feelings actually mean. But like I said, there's been times where I've gotten information where like I didn't feel that shit, but it still turned out to be true. You feel me? Without me having to feel it, but I kind of just intuitively know it. So it's not always through feeling, but it is common that it will be through feeling. You feel me? But we can't say that's only feeling. You know, like
And
you feel
why I
me?
believe that it is all in feeling, and how this is going to be a healer for this planet when people understand the power of somatics, they understand the power of the heart, they understand the power of washing this frequency of love on top of them, is it's going to rewire and recode and recalibrate
Feeling is
cells in
important
people's
as shit,
bodies.
though.
It's going
I
to
want to say that.
literally create an anchor, a whole
I already mentioned the heart, thymus shit. The feeling shit is important, but it's not always through feeling. Though. I just want to say that. You feel me?
different experience on this planet when we learn to recode. So when we actually
And also with the heart shit too, I want to say when I got that thymus, when I was doing that thymus higher heart shit, my nigga. When I started channeling, I was feeling it, but I was heavily seeing shit. It was actually like open up something where I could actually like see shit. You feel me? I just want to say that real quick though. Yeah.
just focus on, the more I connect to the feeling and to the frequency of love, of gratitude, of appreciation, of humor, of joy, when I connect more to that loving feeling, the feeling will speak to me. The guides will move through that somatic
That
experience.
does happen though.
Because
That is true.
we can have guides tell us logical things all the time,
This is true. It's just not the only way. That's what I want to say.
but it can still feel cold to the body. So what I encourage you to do is to tune into the feeling of love. I know for me, like how I feel love is I just think of like a baby.
I will say I think this is pretty good advice for like a nigga who's just getting into this shit, thinking like a base understanding. Hearing that like your guides are you and not to give the power to outside beings and to kind of just be in love and feel it. That is good base advice. So I do want to say this is pretty decent advice. It's just that you can expound on this a bit more to get a bit more in depth and detail like I'm doing right now.
Or like something that makes me just feel like, ah, or like cats. I'm a cat girl. Comment down below if you're a cat girl. Cat
Hey, nigga.
boy.
Of course, the Lyra shit popping out. I already told you that her Syrian, Palladian, Andromeda shit is strong. By the way, if y'all niggas don't know, Palladians come from Lyrans. You feel me? Like she's obviously a Lyran. You feel me? But it's like it's like her Lyran self is in her Palladian self. You feel me? Essentially, like so. Of course, she loves cats. Told y'all niggas, bro. That
Something
Palladian
that
side,
makes you feel
that Palladian side popping out at your ass. You feel me, bro? You feel me? Like I would say Lyran, but it's like, especially with someone like her, it's like her Lyran self is in her Palladian self. Like somebody like me, I have a Lyran self that's separate from my Palladian self because like my feline nature could be very separate from how I am as a Palladian. But her feline nature is very linked with who she is as a Palladian. You feel me? Because like felines at some point took on human forms, and then those human forms became the Palladians. Me, I didn't always like the human forms. I took on a human Lyran form, but I didn't always like that shit. You feel me? The human Lyran forms became Palladians. You feel me? Like I said before. Just saying this because some niggas, it's like my feline self is different from my human Palladian Lyran self. You feel me? Her shit is not that separate though, cause she was one of the ones that was happy to take on a human form. I wasn't though. I liked the feline shit, but at some point I still took on the human shit anyway. You feel me?
feel radiant, expanding, everlasting love, something that is your highest bliss. I love that word. Oh, highest bliss? That is a vibe of a word. Okay, so when you tune into that feeling, what you're doing is you're recalibrating and you're recoding the somatics in your body, the soma. And this is where so much stuff is trapped for humans. And this is what actually is the creation of quote unquote, I guess we could say, negative actions. Okay? Because the problem isn't a voice, like the problem isn't like, oh, I can't hear my guides, there's not a voice telling me what to do. What we're actually yearning for is the feeling of love. Because we're used to a voice telling us what to do all the time, a critical self-critic voice, right? So it's not about this spirit guide voice zooming in and being like, do this, do that, do this.
Well, I think some niggas actually do want that though. You feel me? I feel like some niggas actually do want that shit though. But I do feel what you're saying. That love shit, yeah, that shit not. I feel what you're saying though. Like what she's saying, I fuck with it. But I do think some niggas do want that voice in their head. And some niggas that might be better. Some niggas might feel some shit and be like, damn, I'm feeling this love, but it's like some niggas might still be like, I want something more concrete for the more intellectual niggas. You feel me? But that love shit is very important because when you can feel it, bro. Like, 'cause like I said, when I first started feeling shit, like I'd feel certain shit and think it's something, but it was really not that. But when I got better with feeling, I started actually feeling authentic feelings and shit like that. It did become pretty obvious to know that yeah, when I feel this shit, it's pretty good for me. But I've definitely felt certain shit where, like I'm very excited about something where I'm like, this seems so good, it feels so good, and it's actually not that good. I've gotten fucked up by feeling a lot of times. You feel me? But I've also learned to understand feeling because I got fucked up by feeling. So to each his own. We're all different people, and this is good advice on like some base level shit. But we are all different people who like things our own different ways. So some niggas might prefer the logical voice that just says it how it is. You feel me? Some niggas might prefer the feeling shit, whatever the fuck it is. You feel me? But I do feel what she's saying though.
The more you feel love in your body, that is the real guidance system. And that also gives you the understanding that you can be fully embodied in this experience rather than like out of your body, connecting to a different realm that's not physically here. So it gives us permission to rewrite those negative ions, those negative coatings, those negative cells in our body that are basically blocking us from that natural, enriched experience.
This is just me being a bit critical, but she said negative ions. She's couldn't like okay, so what's an ion? An ion is when a particle is charged a certain kind of way, you feel me? So like for example, like you could have like a negative carbon, you feel me? That'd be like an ion, right? Let me make sure I'm correct real quick. Ion definition, right? Yeah, atom or molecule with a net electric charge due to loss or gain of one or more electrons. You feel me? So it's like you could have a carbon atom that's positive or negative. That would be an ion, right? But positive and negative doesn't mean like good and bad and like good and bad emotion and stuff like that. You feel me? Like that's not what positive and negative means in regards to electrical charge. Positive and negative is referred to as electrical charge. You feel me? So it's like negative ions don't block love. It's not a thing. Like she kind of just said that. You feel me? And this is one thing that spiritual people. I'm not saying that she's doing this specifically, but I know spiritual people who like to say scientific terms to try to seem smart, but it's like nigga, just leave the science out of it, my nigga. Like use philosophy and not science. You feel me? Like, and the thing is, I love science. I love using science for certain shit, but I'm not going to use science to try to sound smart. You feel me? And I'm not saying that she's trying to do this. She might really believe that negative ions block you from feeling love, but that's not true though. You feel me?
Experience, which is what so many systems are trying to block us from, is that frequency. So, how we can hear, how we can connect to spirit guides is the first understanding that they are an extension of you and they're an extension of your being. Because what they're showing me right now is this holographic projection of this heart emanating this projector of these so-called guides when really they are just frequency, they're just energy. So when I started connecting to guides, if I was sick, I have a guide who's a herbalist. There's a very deep part of me that is connected to like Ireland and the land and the roots and herbalism. My guides would come in and tell me like herbs to use. I have guides for like I have a Kundalini guide who's just very embodied in her power, and she's very much here to tell me about my power. And then my other
I'm only making the face I'm making because when she says a Kundalini guide, I do believe that she's talking to something. And since she sees her guides as extensions of herself, I do believe she's talking to like a certain aspect of herself. But calling it like a Kundalini guide, I'm like, I feel like she's just using the word Kundalini very generally, and not with what Kundalini actually is. Cause everybody speaks about Kundalini as if like Kundalini is just like your life force, but Kundalini is a specific type of life force which niggas will never activate with inside this lifetime, which is completely fine. It's completely fine if you don't. You feel me? Cause yeah, but she might just mean like a life force guide that teaches her about the power of her energy and her life force, but it's not specifically Kundalini. You feel me? That's why I'm like, but yeah. Anyway,
Other guide, anyway, I just have a bunch of different guides for different resources and different things.
yeah,
But what they show me is it's actually just an extension of the psychic heart. All the information, all the codes, all the wisdom, all the
yo,
frequency,
her
all the
her
answers
accent,
that these guides
yo,
carry.
I wonder if she had an accent and then tried to get rid of her accent. Cause why does her accent kind of just randomly just pop out of nowhere? You feel me?
Is actually what is embodied in the heart, because the whole entire human psyche, the whole entire encyclopedia, the entire vault of answers every human needs resides within the heart. And that is the conclusion I've come to.
It definitely resides within inside your spirit, and to connect with your spirit, you need to be able to. It resides within inside your spirit and within inside of your own soul, which are two different things. Your soul is a tiny part of your spirit, right? All the answers you need do exist inside your soul and your spirit. And in order to connect with your soul and your spirit, you must be able to have open access to your heart.
Everything resides
Yes.
within here. So how you can connect to your guides is one, gratitude, very simple. And that also goes for just the appreciation for this life, appreciation for the struggle, appreciation for all that comes with this physical experience. And the reason I say that is if you are watching conspiracies, if you're watching things that just make you feel like you are on a doomed planet, I challenge you to like ask yourself, like, is that serving me any longer? Because when we do leave this world, and one thing that really helped me was early in my journey watching near death experiences, having so many people in my life pass away, and really understanding how much of a gift this life is as a medium, and doing mediumship for years as well, and connecting to the other side. The one thing the past on always say to me is, this life is a gift. I can't believe you're on earth. Enjoy every second on earth.
So I'm curious. When she has people, because she said that she talks to the past on. So when certain people pass over and die in her life, does she also see that as an extension of herself? Cuz that actually can be true in the sense of sometimes when you incarnate inside certain families, the people in your family, you and the people in your family all share the same spirit. Your spirit just broke itself off into many different souls. So let's say you live in a household of four, you included, like you and there's three other people, right? That means that your spirit could have split itself off into four different souls. You feel me? But all of you are linked to the same spirit. You feel me? But sometimes you have relatives that have whole separate spirits. Like with me and my family, like my close family, we tend to have the same spirit. You feel me? Like me, my dad, mom, you feel me? Brother, we all got the aunt, we all got the same spirit. You feel me? Now my aunt and my mom actually have the same exact soul split in two different bodies, which is kind of weird. I don't even fully understand how that works. You feel me? That's like that whole twin flame shit. Like their souls, like the thing that is observing this life, they have the same shit. Like it's like two halves. You feel me? Like if they were to truly access their full power, they could probably look through each other's eyes. And I'm not playing about that. You feel me? But and also we Haitian too. You feel me? And like when it comes to Haiti, twins are always seen as like the most powerful shit ever. You feel me? And if they was like fully on that shit, they definitely could do some wild twin shits. They do got the same soul, so they could like know what the other person knows pretty easily and all kinds of shit. You feel me? Alright, my fault. I seen somebody walking. This my mom right now. She's walking inside the crib. But anyway, so I wonder how she sees that though, because some family. The hell? Hold up. Oh, all right, bro. They doing some shit outside. I'm like, what the hell? But anyway, yeah, I wonder how she sees passed on family members? Like, does she see that as extensions of herself also, or because some family members they definitely are, but others they aren't. So I'm just confused about how she sees that. You feel me? But this life is a gift, though. No cap.
It's not like it's not a long time. Enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy
It's
it.
not a long
And
time at all,
so the reason I
unless you're
share
gonna
that
become
is
an
because
immortal.
if we can just be in gratitude for our aliveness, for our physical existence, that is the first step to really tuning into the heart. Now, the second thing is doing anything and everything that makes you feel heart. Is it meditation? Is it dancing? Is it laughter? Is it connection? Is it intimacy? Is it pleasure? What is it that makes you feel heart? Is it connecting to a higher power? Is it prayer?
That
Like,
makes you
what
feel
is it that
hearts.
connects you to your heart? That is a unique experience. And the third one is fun. My guides are just saying that. The more you connect to fun, you are on a highest
Hold
timeline
up. All right.
to your highest bliss. Okay? And in these frequencies, they're saying right now, in these three frequencies, that is all you need to know. And the reason they're sharing this to me is because a lot of people, truthfully, will not be able to hear their guides. Now, it's not a self limiting story. Like, if you really want to, keep telling yourself that, you can unlock those gifts. But for most
Yeah,
people,
like you
the real
definitely. I think anybody who wants to hear their guides can definitely at some point begin hearing their guides, but there definitely are people who just never will. You feel me? Especially because if you're not even gifted in that area to hear, you feel me? Like to hear spiritual beings is gonna take a lot of time to develop that ability. You feel me? Like if you have some type of strength with it, it might be faster than other shit, but it will take a longer period of time. You feel me? But it's not like you'll never get it. Cause like with me and my clairvoyance, I actually trained my clairvoyance. You feel me? And I still do things now to keep it up to date, and I keep on training it. You feel me? Sometimes I have like heavy training periods. Other times I'm not doing no training. But I always try to train my clairvoyance because I'm not naturally clairvoyant. You feel me? But I did like have clairvoyance, or like I did see images in my head at some periods of time. It just wasn't like often or like heavy. So like I kind of already had like some type of development there. It just like wasn't that developed. So I was able to develop it more. You feel me? But some shit that has like no development might be hard to develop. And if you put in time and effort, you can definitely do that shit. But some niggas don't always want to put in that time and effort. You feel me?
answer is in love, it's in the heart, and using that circumference, using that guidance system to guide your life. That is the simplicity of it all, because your guides are actually just frequency, right? My guides will present themselves to me in physicalness. Like, I see them right now in like their physicalness, right? But when I
Does she literally see a spirit inside her crib right now? I'm confused. Or like, or is she that's out her mind's eye? Because she says physically, like she sees it in front of her fucking face. You feel me? I'm curious about that.
actually tune into their source, it's just this mist of energy, because all we are is spirit, all we are is energy at the end of the day. So it's stopping externalizing as a physical human guiding you and really seeing it as frequency. And when you tap into the frequency that you want to connect to, which is love, that is when you're going to hear them. And that is how you connect to your spirit guides. So I'm going to leave this video here. But if I did
Alright, I'm a so look. Is this the best method for like a beginner? I think it can help a beginner. I think that these things are important. Upping your vibration and upping your frequency would definitely help. Feeling more light emotions will definitely help. Some people this is not gonna resonate with though. Some people have watched this video and said this shit was so like they wanted like a more detailed, logical, step by step plan, not just feeling. You feel what I'm saying? So I think this is good for some niggas, especially more like emotional people, probably like a lot of females. You feel me? A lot of men might not like this shit because they're more like logical and intellectual and stuff like that. I'm sure that some men like this shit for a fact. You feel me? And I'm sure that some women hated this shit. You feel me? This was a decent video. You know, this was a pretty decent video. You feel me? I'm not mad at it. If I was to give it like a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say like a 7, 6.56, which isn't that's better than like 5 is like average. Like you feel me? The 6 is better. You feel me? So like 6, 7, around there. Yeah, you feel me? And I'm being kind of critical when I say that too, because I feel like giving a certain. All right, hold up. Just I feel like giving like a I was talking to my mom real quick. I feel like giving a certain like do this meditation, do these things and whatnot. I feel like if you handle it, I feel like that's what some niggas were looking for when they watched this video. Some niggas want like a step by step plan. You feel me? Like do this meditation, ask this question, do this practice, and then boom. This was kind of basic. Some niggas like basic, some niggas don't like basic. That's why I gave this video like a 6 out of 7. You feel me? Or like a 6 to a 7 out of 10. You feel me? I'm gonna end the video right there. I love you all. I'm gonna catch my next video. Peace. The freak out.